Yes. DVD is recorded. Once that loads, on here. DVD is showing in the DVD monitor, so I imagine it's recording fine. You have 30 seconds to leave it live. How long are you going to leave the Videoland Express up for? Let's go your mics.
Right when this thing is going up.
Okay. So, right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We got a long show here tonight, so we're going to skip the music and get right into the live show. Hello, everybody. I'm Frankie-san.
And I'm Mark.
Okay. We are celebrating over 30 years on the air this summer. The first show premiered over 30 years ago on July 15th. So we come a couple of days ahead of that anniversary. Over 30 years, we got an award for that. The other announcement is because of all the sequels, prequels, and remakes, and working on this big music project, I thought I was going to be able to make an announcement on that. Probably that won't be happening until August. So because of that, we're going once a month. Okay, we're going to do one show for July, another show in August. Hopefully we time that out for the Fast and Furious movie, Hobbs and Shaw, whatever. So we got a couple movies in between. The last time we were here, we were talking about Dark Phoenix. Of course, we told you the story that Disney kind of sabotaged it because they're going to do a complete reboot. So everybody who's ever was part of that cast is gone. So that's the end of that. So a lot of movies have come up in between. But real quick, before we get into that, the show's going to be once a month for July. Well, that's this show. August, that's Fast and the Furious. In September, we'll probably do the Rambo thing, okay? And then we're going to go back to bi-weekly for the holidays so we can get squeeze all that information about Star Wars. Anyway, don't forget, this show gets recorded in 48 hours. It gets posted on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm also on Pinterest and Instagram, okay? There's no website no more. That is gone, okay? There was links there, but if you go to Google, just put in Videoland Express, and it will see you will see all the links for Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, the music project I'm working on. So just Google it, and you'll go right there. Okay, so as far as the box office goes, well, let me tell you. So far, this is July. This is the halfway point. And the movies are really tanking all over the place. They're not really crossing over, and that's worldwide. One good example is Godzilla. Godzilla only made about $135 million in China. It should have cleared 200 like Pacific Rim. South Korea, everything makes at least $20 million to premiere. Godzilla made less than $5 million. Not only Godzilla, a lot of pictures. Okay, take Toy Story out. Take Endgame and a lot of other movies they're not passing the $200 million mark. For example, number one that made over $100 million is Endgame. Next after that was Captain Marvel, but that was left over from Christmas. That only made over $400 million. So only 3 movies have made over $300 million. And that is Toy Story 4, Spiderman, not quite, next weekend it will break the $400 million mark, but it's getting there, and Aladdin. I mean, those are the top 3 movies that have made over $300 million. And the point is, a lot of people are just not going to the movies. Again, with sequels, prequels, and whatever, remakes.
And it is a summer.
Yeah.
You could actually do a lot more, now than people used to be able to do.
Yeah, well, also people, if you go to rush hour in the morning, people are watching movies on their phones and their tablets. There's no reason to go, Netflix.
Theater,
yeah.
I hate to say it, sometimes the experience is terrible.
Well, not only that, again, that's why we're going only once a month. I got to work in this music project, and we're gonna go through this. Okay, we got about 6-7 pictures to talk about. But in the background is Spider-Man. We're blocking the faces, unfortunately. But yeah, well, you know who it is.
Spider-Man, Jake Gyllenhaal, and our friend over there, Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. Poor guy cannot open a movie. So let's backtrack. Let's start with Samuel Jackson, okay? And we're going to lead up to Spider-Man and then talk for the rest of the show. So we got a couple movie reviews. We got, no particular direction, we're going to talk about Shaft, Child's Play, yesterday, my Toy Story 4, Spiderman, and Crawl, which I saw this morning. The alligator movie, really good. But let's go back a little bit. Let's start off with Shaft. You saw Shaft.
Yes, I thought it was amazing.
Nobody saw Shaft. It was hysterical.
Yeah, I think because they were under the misconception that Shaft was going to be like the first Samuel Jackson Shaft, which wasn't really that well received.
Right.
So then people may have turned on it before it came out. They were like, well, the first one wasn't good, so why would we expect this one to be good? But it is amazing. You're going to see it. As soon as it comes out for Netflix or home video, it's going to explode. It's really amazing. It's on another level. It's sort of like Samuel L. Jackson's commentary to PC culture. It is like they let him loose. The first one he was bound to a plot that wasn't really that good, too contrived. Oh, this intrigue and this and this. No, this time they let him cut loose. They let him be himself. He was comically amazing.
It was more in tone to his role in like Pulp Fiction, you know,
Yes.
that kind of loudmouth character. And then the kid who played his son was really good. The whole cast was good. The direction, I mean, and the picture went fast. You know,
Yes.
I got a real big problem
Yeah, I was laughing.
with
I was
editing
like
and bloated pictures. This was really funny. A lot of action and a lot of predicaments were happening in between. And then of course they introduced the original father, the original chef,
Roundtree.
Richard Roundtree, and so they had a trio going on, and I think that was really hysterical. Why the critics turned on this, I have no idea. It did nothing at the box office. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. I recommend it on Netflix.
Yes, or DVD or whatever it comes out. Whether you watch movies online or on demand.
Okay. Stream it, people. Okay. Child's Play. It started off good. They changed the whole premise. Instead of that voodoo thing, a doll being voodoo possessed and all that stuff. This time, basically, it's some guy. They make these dolls in China somewhere, in Asia somewhere, and a guy he gets pissed off his boss and said, "Okay, these automated, these automated robots that you get on a Shape of Things that company? No, Sharper Image. They sell these robots and stuff like that. So it's a guy goes on the computer and manipulates the doll, the information, piece of information, and makes them into a murderer. Okay, so they kind of updated that. The movie starts off good, and then it kind of falls apart at the end. The main reason I recommend it is because of Mark Hamill's voice playing Chucky. It was really on the money, and you can't believe that was Mark Hamill doing, when he does, what's the character, Twister?
Joker.
He does the Joker in the TV show. That was the Twister, I think. I think it's one of Flash's enemies, the Twister. The comic book fans know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But Mark Hamill does a really good voice, and you can't tell it's really Mark Hamill. Yes, but he's good with those voice things. So I definitely recommend it. Not to pay. Again, Netflix. You're gonna hear that a lot tonight, folks. Okay, I wouldn't recommend it. Next one, if you're a Beatles fan, yesterday. It started off really good. It does a lot of commentary about the music business, especially the advertisement and the way the people could try to control the bands nowadays. It's basically a social commentary on the music industry, how kaput and corrupt it is. Okay, but it comes out really funny. So there's a lot of commentary, especially like there's a dude in an advertisement office, Madison Avenue. And he goes, we got a problem with this White Album. Why is it white? How come it's not more diverse? The guy say, well, the White Album was called the White Album because there was no cover. It was just plain White Album. There was no commentary back in 1968 when the album came out. It was just, the Beatles said, look, we don't want any designs. Just make it plain old, white. And then, of course, this is the modern day, and so the guy say, "Whoa, you can't have it in a White Album. That's politically incorrect." And the guy going, "Oh yeah, you guys don't get it." Anyway, so a lot of social commentary about the business. So if you like that kind of thing, if you like the Beatles music, I definitely recommend it. The ending is a cop out where he says, "Listen, I really didn't write the songs." That was the ending. Spoiler. Oh well.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but I
would say spoilers.
Well.
So it's gonna be spoilers.
Well, put it, if you saw the trailer like Spider-Man, you saw the movie. Okay, we'll get to that. Hold on. Next movie, Toy Story 4. We don't need a Toy Story 5. Okay, this was played overrated again. They said, oh, it's one of the best. Nah. Sad ending. Woody gets his girl. Okay, fine. Movie's over. That was it. There was not much to it. I was so disappointed at it. I think what Disney should do is just take Toy Story and make it like a weekly series, like the Muppets, or once a month subscribe Disney Channel, whatever. Put it to TV, streaming, whatever. Make a show out of it. We don't need another 2-hour movie. Sorry. I know there's a lot of Toy Story fans. I love Toy Story. The number 3 ended perfectly when Andy said to the toys, "Thanks a lot, guys, for raising me up in my childhood and stuff like that." I thought that was really nice. Nice way to end the movie. Sad, but it was touching. And over here it's like, meh. Okay, what can I say? I mean, I still like the characters. If you like the characters, forget about the plot, forget about the story. Very weak. I would give it a 3 out of 5, okay? Only because of characters. And there's one, the bad villains are these evil-looking dolls. The girl there who has got a thing about the other, she's got a thing with Woody and the other, the space guy. What's his name again?
Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear. She's got a beef with something like that.
With the dolls?
And and then she's got these evil dolls that work for her. Like, I don't know, they look really mean. It was kind of creepy. I wasn't comfortable with that for some reason. Anyway, but that's Toy Story 4. Again, overrated. No more. We don't need any more Toy Story 5, 6, 7, 8. But Disney, they're gonna milk it as much as they can. If the merchandise sells, we're gonna get a number 5. That's the way that goes. Okay. Finally. Now, okay, my favorite. I enjoyed it even better than Spiderman. Crawl. I saw this morning, The Alligators. Movie costs only about $13 million. It's not those cheaper Supremos that you see on Sci-Fi Channel. Think of Lake Placid meets a disaster movie. And it's, what's another movie? Oh, think of Deep Blue Sea, the one with Samuel Jackson, talking about Sammy, when he fights against the sharks. Was that it?
Yes.
Deep Blue Sea, was that it? Okay. And number 2 wasn't so bad either.
And what about that Jason Statham movie about him and a mammoth shark?
A mammoth shark, right. So, well, that was a big shark. Over here, Deep Blue Sea is basically these sharks going after everybody in the facility. Over here is alligators going after the father and daughter in a house. Now you figure, how can you make a movie out of that? It'd be like maybe like a trailer, maybe like 20 minutes long. The movie's not long. That's what I like about it. So it's only about an hour and 25 minutes with the credits. So it's less than 90 minutes. But there's a lot of imagination to the movie. That's why I liked it a lot. I definitely recommend it 4 out of 5. It's a scenario where they're stuck in the basement and they're fighting off these alligators in the basement. So
it reminds me of a lot of that American Dad episode, where they all get trapped in the house.
Right.
They had to evacuate. They didn't evacuate. Then all of a sudden they get flooded. And then all of a sudden they have to fight, what is it, a shark or?
I think a shark, yeah. It was a shark.
I thought it was a shark or an alligator.
Yeah, it was a shark, yeah.
Wow. They're just picking up all these things from stuff they watch on television.
Yeah, but actually this was actually based on a true event in Florida, supposedly, that there was a couple trapped in the house because there was a big flooding and the alligators just helped themselves into the town and then went right to their house. So it's kind of based on that. But what I like about it, a lot of imagination. Just so when you think, she's looking around in the basement with a flashlight, boom, an alligator comes out. I jumped 2 times.
Like aliens.
Yeah, and I don't jump for nothing. I'm bored. Okay, same scenario, but like I said, there a lot of inventiveness. There's a great part in the middle of the movie. Slight spoiler: these 2 people, they try to rescue them. They're part of the what do you call that? The crew, the rescue crew. Anyway, one guy gets caught with a crocodile. He's swinging back and forth. The crocodile swinging him back and forth, and the camera shot all of a sudden jumps up from above, and all of a sudden 4 other crocodiles come up and they split him apart. They took a leg here, an arm there. You're going, whoa, didn't see that coming. Really good. I definitely recommend it on Netflix. Going to the theaters paying what is it, like $18, $19 now?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. It's sort of like...
No movie's worth it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like when we were speaking about Men in Black. And I was like, I don't know if I want to spend... Since we pay for these movies ourselves to go see them, I'm not sure if I want to spend whatever amount, even if it's in the morning for $9 matinee.
Right.
And then spend 2 hours watching this thing.
Yeah.
So that's tough. It gets tough. So that's why I've said from the beginning, I'm going to try to see the movies I'm interested in and I may enjoy. And I sort of get a sense of what's going to go on.
That's why another reason we're only doing it once a month, because a lot of these movies are not worth it. And whose fault is it? They're complaining, but people are not going to the audience. We got to make better movies, invest in original ideas. They don't want to do that. And so people are not showing up. You know, so they don't get it. You know, I mean, they're going to go in the way. As a matter of fact, they're going to go in the way of the record business. There was an article on Hollywood Reporter that was posted yesterday. Does Hollywood need to change? I believe that's the title of the article. Go to Hollywood. The article was up yesterday, and they asked a lot of the people in the business that said, you know, we are the ones, the people in charge of Hollywood. We are the ones killing the business because they don't want to change. They adapt. As soon as Netflix is a threat. Disney decides to buy Hulu to get rid of the competition because of that threat. And so they're doing it to themselves. I mean, you ask people, they don't know anything about the business. They don't know the infrastructure and the politics that goes on. But basically, people said, I'm not interested in seeing the movie. When I went to see Godzilla, they had like 10 trailers. And people were going, boo, what a waste of time. People are actually commenting on the trailers.
Yeah, I boo trailers. When I see a trailer and I see it, I go like, oh, boo, this looks terrible.
Yeah, the one that got a cheer was Rambo, believe it or not.
Yeah, of course, I love that.
The Rambo got a cheer, but the other movies like what's that? A comedy, Stubber or something like that. The guy from Guardians of the Angels.
Yeah, Stub.
Dave Bautista.
Yes, but
people were saying, what a piece of crap, looking at the trailer.
Yeah.
And the movie's not funny, so.
It's a pretty much a one note joke.
Exactly. Okay, talk about one note joke. If you saw the trailer for Spiderman, you saw the movie. I did not like this movie. Enough with Tony Stark, what happened to him, and what are the challenges going to be coming for Spidey and all this and stuff. I had a couple good jokes. For me, it was him and Mysterio joining forces in the trailer. And then at the end, you see the giant cloud monster. It was all made up with drones. If you haven't seen
spoilers.
Spoiler, here we go. But this deserves to get a spoil because after that, it's just Spider-Man. And it's just one location. It just happens at London Bridge. And he's going around in circles, fighting all these drones. And in the meantime, Mysterio is on the side, yelling at people and said, I need more drones, and do this and do that. He's just standing there yelling, giving orders over his intercom at the people back in the office there, controlling these drones. It was horrible. I said, that's the ending? I mean, the camera work was nice. You see him flying through, and the camera follows, and he uses different suits and everything like that. The ending was such a shame. He's fighting a bunch of drones. He's knocking out drones like this here. I said, God, come on, that's the best you can do?
Isn't that what he did in the first Spider-Man? And they talk about this on YouTube. He pretty much did that when they threw drones at him in the first Spider-Man at the end fight scene. And that's what he did, basically, fought the drones. This sort of shows you that they're not really sure what to do with Spider-Man. Spider-Man to them is sort of something different and odd, and they don't know how to deal with it. It's a specialty thing, Spider-Man. It's sort of like dealing with Saw or Chucky.
Right.
It's sort of a specialty item that you shouldn't just give it to anybody and say, bing, bang, boom, and bing, bing, bang, and then there you go. It's sort of like what they did with Endgame. It's like, bing, bang, boom, bing, bang, bum, bang, and then this explains everything. The end, everybody's happy. Which isn't great.
Right. Well, at least
it just shows you that there's lazy writing.
Which is a lot of it.
Lazy writing. They don't know what they want to do with Spider-Man. They want to sell it to the kids and sell it to the adults, and you can't have it both ways. You try to make it into a John Hughes film. You try to do it like a lot of people make fun of it, saying, it tries to become European Vacation. Out of Chevy Chase. You're trying to be a comedy, and then you're trying to be serious. You can't have it both ways. You can have a little bit of comedy, but you can keep going over and over the same joke, beating a dead horse.
Right.
And it's not leading to anything. It's just making everybody. It's sort of making it a smorgasbord of food that's all a mess. Mm-hmm. Combining so much stuff that no one really actually gets to taste what they like.
The thing with the Spider-Man, the movie cost $200 million. That's why I compared it to Crawl. Crawl only cost $13 million, but there was a lot of imagination. They really thought about all these setup scenes, what we can do over here, what kind of situation over there.
It's sad with horror. It seems like they have more imagination to do with horror, because I guess less executives get involved in the cooking process of a horror film, because
Let's cook in the kitchen, right?
Very few executives are going to want to put their name behind a horror film because they said, I don't know, it's sort of like, to me, it's sort of dumb. I don't really want to put my name on it. Oh, good, so it's going to be better because you're not getting involved.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, I'm going to get involved with this project, hijack it, like they did with Dark Phoenix, and just obliterate it. I'm going to obliterate it. I'm going to throw my notes in it. Something, like everyone said, something going to be 90 minutes. I'm with all the notes in this office of 100 people. We're going to throw so many notes in it. We're going to want it this way, that way, this way. We're not going to leave it alone. We're going to make a smorgasbord. We're going to throw all our notes in. Something that could be 90 minutes, a really good, tight movie. We're going to make it 2 hours.
Bloated.
Yeah, bloated, terrible, just over the top, where no one knows what it wants to be.
And then they continue ruining it in the editing process. It's like, did they get the memo? Everybody got the memo on Spider-Man. Let's just make crap out of it.
Yeah.
The thing
that's why horror films are going to be more successful, because less executives, sort of like I always attribute it to sports or attribute it to wrestling. Less people want to put their name behind it, so sometimes it ends up being more entertaining than what you expect it to be. But in horror, it's going to be that way. It's going to be more entertaining. It's going to make more money because less executives are going to get involved. Less money funding is going to go into it. Sort of like a Western. So then the original Star Trek, then the storyline, they're going to work on it better, and it's going to be more desirable, what I'm thinking.
Right. And it's funny you should mention Star Trek. A lot of people right now, they, the whole advertisement thing about Star Trek Picard, and already the people don't like the timeline. I mean, the Discovery, everybody says, now you're going to send it into the future, when it was supposed to be in the back, back before Kirk, okay?
That's not good. That
pretty
means
cool.
They don't know what they want.
They don't know what they do with the show, okay? And they're afraid that Picard, they want to change the storyline. Because they want to get away from the original Star Trek canon, as they call it,
Right.
I believe.
Right, because...
So why are you using Picard then?
Like with Star Wars, you have to make it 25% different. Same thing with Spider-Man. It has to be 25% different than Sony's Spider-Man or than the comic books, so then things change to the point where you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Who are these people? And why do I care about them?
Exactly.
I don't care about these people. I don't care about his girlfriend. I don't care about his best friend. He tells everybody who he is. It's just, you just made a bloated film.
What was the other thing that people are really talking about Star Trek? Oh, Tarantino. Tarantino's going to come out with a movie. We're going to have to wait for the review in August.
I doubt it might happen. I think this is all, what do you call this, a wild goose chase. In order for they could get the money and the backing, sort of like the Picard series. They're trying to get the money backing. Oh my goodness, we're going to have Picard. Yeah, do you have a script? We're going to have Picard. And what about the Quentin Tarantino film? Yes. What I did was I took a bunch of essence of what we think people want to see, and then I put it there and said, yeah, Quentin Tarantino is going to direct that.
Right.
Do you know what? No. But his name's attached to it. It's going to spark some interest, so probably could gather some money from that way. If we have to, catch this. If we have to, we'll do a Kickstarter, and we'll get people to contribute money, a couple $1 billion, for they can make this thing that's probably never going to happen.
Also, they have to save face because they had, what was it, number 3, they had Chinese investors. And the Chinese investors said, you went nowhere with this project.
Yep. They pretty much ripped them off.
Yeah, and so the Chinese, forget about Chinese backup, Chinese money management. You forget all about that. So Hollywood is kind of like scrambling.
And they remember what they did to Netflix. They scammed them too.
Yeah.
So if anything, Star Trek can be the new kind of Kickstarter investment, fake investment where you invest in this fake Kickstarter, which is called Star Trek, and you're going to lose your investment.
Yeah. I mean,
ripped off.
I'd say it goes to show you, again, too many cooks in the kitchen, and then they have no idea what to do with the project. It's something simple as Star Trek.
They just want to put their name on it, throw a bunch of money into it, try to get a bunch of money for it, and make something that nobody really wanted to see.
I mean, they blew it with the Chris Hemsworth and, what's it, Chris Pike there?
Well, I didn't really think that those two actors were really evolving the Star Trek series. I'm sorry, because you see, sort of like they brought them into Enter the Darkness or Into the Darkness. Now I forgot what Beyond Darkness. I forgot the title of it.
The one with Khan,
Ye-
the remake of Khan.
No, it was the next one over where Scotty does all these amazing things by ruining a movie because he becomes the star of the movie. Because he's able to do this, that, and this. Don't you remember? Where they're lost in a planet, and then he has to save them all. Scotty saves them all.
Oh, is that the one from Beyond?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that one.
Yes.
With Captain Kirk is riding around on a motorcycle.
Yes, I think it is.
Most people don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. When he's riding a motorcycle, there's a girl. Who's
That's how
like
bad it is. We don't remember.
Action fighting. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the one where they conned the investors and took all their money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It should be.
What is surprising about that one? Simon Pegg, who's a Star Trek nerd, or he's a Trekkie, Trekker, whatever you want to call it, and he wrote the script, and the script was not very good. I mean, and then
Because he put himself forward
Yeah.
ahead of what it was
Smart, he's
supposed
the
to be.
writer.
Yeah. And he sort of, in other words, if you could say it, he sabotaged it. It's sad to say.
yeah, okay, yeah. Well,
Make it good.
well, who sabotaged? Like Hulk with what's his name? Ed Norton.
Yes.
He said, he was trying to help out with the movie, so he helped out with the script. And if you see the 45 deleted scenes that was on the DVD of the Hulk with Ed Norton, it was all about Ed Norton as
Bruce Banner.
Thank you, Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Not about the Hulk. It was all about Bruce Banner.
And
okay,
that's why I hate
so
to
he
say-
wrote. So he bloated his own. His own
importance.
right in the film.
It's sort of
Thank
the
you.
same thing to say with Professor Hulk. It sort of seems like it got bloated with the importance of Mark Ruffalo. Oh, we only have a minute now.
We have a minute.
So, yeah, we have a minute.
Well, enjoy Lion King. Everybody said
It's amazing.
and it's stunning to look at, but it's the same old story. Didn't add anything to it, so we're not going to be on in 2 weeks. We're going to be on for Hobbs and Shaw, and then whatever other movie is in between. Folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for celebrating 30 years with us. The show will be on YouTube by Monday morning, and we'll see you next month in August. So in 4 weeks,
Yeah.
a Fast and the Furious spin-off, whatever.
And we saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you
face
saw that.
Batman.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. You said you saw it, right?
Right.
Okay.
I reviewed it on the last show, 4 out of 5. If you get to see that on Netflix or whatever, recommend that.
All right.
Enjoy the days at the beach.
Enjoy the beach because the movie theater is not happening.
It's not happening. That's simple as that.
Oh, well.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in 4 weeks. Adios.
Adios.
All right. We got one in the can. Spider pig, dun 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 dun, spider pig, dun 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 dun. Actually, the Spider Pig episode of The Simpsons was a lot better than Spidey Coming Home, or Far From Home, whatever the hell call it. Ugh.